Hello everyone, and welcome back to the total and complete mess that is the Seleucid Empire right now. I think basically every settlement we own is under threat of an invasion, which, that feels like Total War Rome. This was just the way that things work, or Rome Total War, I guess as they call it back then. We went into, Yoda speak on it, on the newer age. Anyway, we got our diplomat headed back over here, and, yeah, I was thinking of what we could use him for. Let's actually take a look. So send an emissary, negotiate with Philopator, negotiate with them. And, basically everybody hates me. We could try and go negotiate with Parthia, see whether we can get anything out of that situation. He's right there. It'll only take one more turn. There are merchants standing around. I forget that they added merchants to this game, and I'll be honest, I don't really know how to use them fantastically. We're under siege at one place. I actually think I'm going to go ahead and kind of just check my status of... We got 2 settlements under siege where I can't build. At Seleucia here, we could go ahead and start building more things. So I've built all of the recruitment that we can build there for the moment. I'm going to try and put in some walls. There's nothing we can do at Hatra at the moment. It is likely to be assailed here shortly by yet another army of Armenians. So we will deal with that. I would say when or if the time comes, but it's really just when the time comes, because we're certainly going to attack. Okay, these guys are going to go ahead and attack. It is a siege attack. If we position our hoplites properly, we should be able to massacre these armies, so let's see. Alright, the units they have are these Nubian spears, which are a low-quality phalanx unit, similar to my own versions of those units. Pushing the rams and stuff are peltist and peasants. So 2 units of peltist. I don't believe that's enough peltist to have a significant impact on my troops' capability in this battle. I'm expecting those rams to hit 3 different positions. I'm going to move to block all 3 of those positions. I cannot move this unit any farther forward, or can we? Yeah, we're going to push these as far forward as I can. I think actually what I'll do, I'll create kind of a good old-fashioned V-shape trap right here. I'll only have the 1 unit on this side, and then I might get the kind of V-shaped trap set up here as well. Alright, so there we go. I've got my troops moving into position. And whenever you have these siege battles like this, phalanx troops, as long as you're not going to get shot to death by archers or horse archers, something of the such, you can be tremendously successful with these types of formations. We do want guard mode. They're all in guard mode. Okay, so we're going to leave our troops in guard mode. We're basically just going to block all their entrances and watch what happens. So again, I use phalanx troops. They use phalanx troops. None of which are going to be effective when passing through a gate, but my troops will be effective because they are holding position. Now, you will get a heavy push sometimes because the units just kind of start to literally almost explode through the gates, but at the same time, you can see it didn't exactly go well. Didn't exactly go well for him there. We're slightly out of position here, but I don't think I'm going to fiddle with it. I'm going to leave us where we're at. We should be good. Yeah, you can see they're going to try and push through here. Again, the AI is going to get more benefit of the doubt than the player will. Their guys will be in a phalanx formation better than your own guys ever would. But it still should be an absolute mess for the AI. And if we, watch, for instance... yeah, there we go. Pop that one up. Oh, it doesn't track kills in battle here. I thought it would. Never mind. Pop that off the screen. But yeah, you can see their units are just coming in and just getting absolutely slaughtered. So this should be a pretty clean win for us. I'm going to actually just kind of go ahead and fast forward and let you all watch the sausage grinder churn here, making us a fine Egyptian bratwurst, no doubt, for the grill later. Oh, see there? They all pushed in real hard, the weight got behind it, but still shouldn't really succeed in the end. You do not want to click attack orders. It turns into a mess. You really just need to have your units in position and holding. And that's really the only way to handle this scenario. I'm going to keep fast forwarding. Those units should just rout. They'll come back in from routing and then just keep coming until such a time as we were able to defeat. Now, we have taken a few losses on some of those units. Not ideal. I think what I'll do is I will pull another unit, like, right here, and then I'll just seal up this gap, like that. Okay, I'm gonna keep fast-forwarding. Actually, I think I'm gonna pull this unit farther back away. Like, I don't want them to get caught up in there. Might screw up my formation a little. Hurry up, get out of the way. Yeah, okay, it screwed up my formation some. Oh, and now they're gonna push towards the other one too. That's okay. Ultimately, I don't think this really results in too much of an issue from us. Let's. I'm gonna keep trying to pull this unit back for a moment. Yeah, see here where their guys just can't effectively use their phalanx coming through that gap. Look at that, see that? All of a sudden the mass just kind of exploded into position there. The two unit formation, in my experience, is much more effective than the single unit like this. You can see the single unit is struggling a little, but still ultimately not going to be great. I guess I'm going to have to move back over here. Hop out of phalanx formation. And run, please. AI is going. Oh. There we go. Okay, yeah. Alright, they're going to go into a phalanx. This unit needs to go in phalanx. Yeah, okay, look, see, we're getting just bullied here, like on sheer weight. That's why the 2-unit formation is better. Because sometimes your unit will get kind of knocked off of its position like this. And then see, when I have to click that attack order, my own guys drop their pikes, keep raising and stuff instead of being there. I think we can still force these guys back. It is a little bit of a mess, but they're surrounded. They're definitely taking some bad hits to leadership. So despite their shenaniganry there, like literally splitting my unit in half, it won't result in a significant advancement for the Egyptians here. There they go. They're going to run out. I'm going to reform here. And I'm going to reform in a dense pike formation. We want to keep those units densely packed. It's a little different than Rome 2, where your kind of natural idea is to spaghetti line everything. Phalanxes are much more effective from the front when they're kind of densely packed, and that partly depends on whether they're carrying the short pike or these hoplite phalanxes versus the real long sarissas that you'll see in the Alexandrian phalanx. We're going to see the Nubian commander come forward now and die in much the same manner as his other Nubian brethren did. So I'm going to fast forward this and then let you all enjoy this this one last trip through the meat grinder. You can see the pile of bodies here on the ground. And this is why phalanx units and how they can be pretty effective in a siege. Again, it's going to depend on the type of units you're up against. It's going to depend on whether they're shooting at you with missiles. And, again, sometimes like this little bit of weird shenaniganry here. Like, and I say shenaniganry, the AI kind of takes advantage of it because they can, but it's also just kind of it just is what this game is. It's old and it's quirky. So see, like that right there, they essentially pushed through my units, and like the sudden mass push through there, like kind of created that nonsensical break of my formation. But these guys are losing units at an alarming pace. Like they're not going to win this. They're surrounded. They're going to be attacked in the rear. I've got another unit moving that direction to help shore that up if we need to. And there we go. Success. Look at the kills here. Yeah, even militia hoplites can really rack up the kills. All right, there's going to be some more moves for Egypt here on this turn in. I'm going to try and just fast forward those, but that's an important victory for us at Damascus. And here's the Parthians, right on cue. They're going to fail in their siege just the same as the other factions did. Here comes another siege. This feels like par for the course at this point. Okay, come on, let's get it done. Greek cities are going to move their merchant. Guess he didn't like our textiles there. It's fine, we don't like him either. Alright, so Damascus is a bit of a mess. We'll want to go into the buildings and repair the walls. And then we're going to want to be able to recruit more here. We also are going to need to keep up with other things, so there's a lot of stuff that could be handy here. We're a long ways from growth in Damascus. We have time, and quite honestly, the militia hoplites will defend perfectly well here. We don't have to get overly fancy. We're going to retrain those units. And then I'm working on an army back at Antioch. Now, we could sally out and fight some of these factions, and as long as they don't have like a bunch of cataphracts or something, I mean, that'd be totally possible. But they did have cataphracts in their last mashup, and we don't really want any part of that, to be quite honest. But otherwise, I'm going to let these guys continue their siege. They're going to have to attack me sooner or later. They're going to fail when they attack me, and I'm going to take advantage of that failure. Let's go ahead and build a port here. Yeah, just build a port. I need to continue building this army, which is the case. This army continues to be grown. Like, if we take a look here, we're going to be pulling heavily from this population for recruiting. We do have access to militia cavalry, which is not great, but cavalry at this point is useful. So I'll probably train a couple of those. And training is slow unless you do it across multiple settlements, which is certainly a possibility here, and one that I'll go ahead and entertain. We're going to retrain these units as well, and I'm going to go ahead and train in a couple more militia hoplites. It's going to take a hit on our income, but my thought is if I can kind of defend most of these settlements just fine, as long as I can get maybe one army that can go campaigning, the rest of my armies can defend and fend these guys off while I go capturing territory in a different direction. Rather than having to get aggressive and having enemy little stacks get in behind me and stuff like that, which is uber annoying. Like, just very annoying. And the turn reports, settlement besieged. Okay, yeah, got it. Thank you. That Parthian, where'd the Parthian diplomat go? He went way over here. I wonder if we could try and get a peace agreement here. Like, are they interested at all?
Be quick. Our patience is limited.
Nope, they are not. Okay, well,
Can I be of
good to know. Maybe
I will address them at
over
once.
here and deal with him next. Okay, I don't know. We'll see what we can do. Let me take a look at my building browser again. Though we're building it everywhere we can. Hatra is under siege and can't build anyway, so we should be good. There are rebels right outside the settlement too, which are going to cause a little bit of devastation and loss of money. We want to deal with them when we get the opportunity, but we also have to be careful not to allow the Egyptians to catch us in a bad position, essentially. Here comes Parthia. Let's see what they have to say. Sometimes they just kind of have an animation here and don't really do anything, but we'll see. They may be offering
Think
something.
very
Okay.
carefully before you reply.
So let me get this straight. You're sieging one of my settlements, and then you send your diplomat to say, give us money or I'll attack.
Until next time.
I mean, Total War AI? It's still Total War AI, folks. See what the Parthians have here. They do have a single unit of archers, a little bit concerning, because they can cause a lot of damage given time. But then they just have Pontic Light Cav, which I believe is a Jab Cav, and Peltist and stuff. I don't think they're going to actually be able to break us in a siege here. So let's fight and see. The battle has begun. I'm going to let the Pontic troops begin their movement of the rams. Their infantry is really awful. The question is going to be whether the AI is capable of using all of its skirmishers to damage me as badly as possible before trying to push in. My guess is going to be that they won't, and that they'll fail epically. But maybe it'll surprise me here, and we'll see. But based off my past experience, I'm not expecting much. It is a nighttime battle, which is cool, by the way, too. They added this to Rome. It was in Barbarian Invasion, but then when they released the remaster, they added it where the guys have the nice little torches and stuff here. AI is going to go all in, charging through the gates, which I love to see. You all might like to see it. I don't think they're going to appreciate the result very much, but They are throwing javelins at me as well, which, again, could be problematic. But Peltists had fairly limited ammunition and capabilities on this game, if I remember right, so I'm not expecting it to have any major impact. Look, I stuck another phalanx unit back here at the back, so in case they do start that whole punch-through stuff, that it shouldn't go well for them. And so far, it is not going well for them. And again, we're going to take a little bit of damage to some Peltists. I am not shocked at this scenario. I do have my commander who could sally outside of the gates and run down some of their troops, and that may become necessary with some of these units that are out here, but I would like to avoid that if possible, because there's always the risk that my commander gets killed, and that is not a risk that I would prefer to take. My units move despite being in guard mode, so that's cool. Appreciate it, guys. Same thing here. They're in guard mode, but they moved anyway. Again, really, really cool. Hopefully you make me lose the siege because of it. That'd be great. Here comes the Eastern Infantry with their nice wicker shields and pajamas. Always a cool looking unit, though. They come in several different colors. Yeah, look at that, where they pile in like that. You gotta love it. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Just popped the peasant corn there. We used to make videos that was kind of jokingly called, it was called the popping of the peasant corn. And it's where I would ball up a bunch of peasants and then run over them with scythe chariots. It was a similar result. Okay, so they are going absolutely bananas over here trying to break through that. They still have that militia cav out there, which I don't love. My unit might rout here because it's getting completely pushed back. I'm going to come out of formation over here. I'm going to run down the street a little bit here. Yep, they did rout my militia hoplite there. That's frustrating. We're going to have to try and stem this Pontic explosion here. And my commander unit may be necessary, unfortunately. Again, this is a risk. With one militia hoplite unit routing, though, others may become prone to rout. That is not what we want. I could run these peasants over here and attack them with the peasants as well. But again, if some of these units rout, it can become contagious. So we do have to be somewhat cautious. More Peltist piling in this way. We still have the commander for the Pontic troops. Okay, looks like we have temporarily stemmed the Pontic vermintide type explosion through the ground there. But they will no doubt be back. I'm going to kind of push these phalanx units up closer. I don't know where you're going or why. I don't remember giving that order. Oh, I guess the attack order they had, they were going to continue to follow it through. All right, let's start moving more units into position here. Push these guys up. We'll put a second unit in behind them in case the Pontic troops successfully bowl us over again, which they very well might. Oh, a Pontic heavy cavalry. Now that is problematic. I didn't know we had a Pontic heavy cavalry here. That is a Jav cav, but Pontic heavy cavalry is certainly far more capable. I would like to not, again, charge my commander in, given the opportunity. Pontic light cavalry is one thing. But looks like we're going to be safe. Waiting on my guys to get their phalanx set here. They've got a couple of units still reforming, but we should be good at both entrances. I think our objective of keeping the Pontic troops out should be successful. And I don't believe we're going to need... Okay, they are using their archers now. They're out there just firing away, but that's not great. Their archers are not going to be tremendously successful there, but they will find some success. Somewhat worrying. They got out here Eastern Infantry. Alright, well... that looks cool with like some of the arrows are like flying out of there weird though. The arrow trails look pretty nice. I mean, it's an older game. I don't expect it to look like truly phenomenal, but it looks pretty cool. I'm gonna fast forward for a minute, kind of see what the AI decides to do here. Comes some more. Looks like the Eastern Infantry coming back for seconds. Archers have a lot of ammunition, and it does scare me. But again, I don't want to run my commander out here willy-nilly. for no good reason. I mean, it's just some militia hoplites. I can let them take a little damage. I don't think it's going to result in us losing the battle. Like, they're not getting a lot of kills here. They're spewing ammunition for not a lot of effect. And it's because hoplite units have pretty good shields from the front. Militia hoplites are low on armor, but they still hold like a pretty good shield value. And this use of ammunition from the archers probably won't find a lot of success. So again, we're just going to kind of keep fast forwarding here, wait this out. Again, I could use my commander, but I feel like that's a risk with that Pontic light cav back there, and then running outside the gates, you know, comes with its own risk. We are going to take some damage here. I wish I didn't have to sit here and just get shot by the archers. And I guess technically I don't have to. I could go and chase these guys here. Yeah, we could do this. We don't have a way to catch that militia cavalry at all, but I can see if the AI is going to play smart or dumb. With their archers, at least. So far, smart. But essentially, we can go push these guys off the map. Their archers are very tired from firing at me, so I'm actually going to be able to catch them. And then hopefully this garners the attention. Yep, meet my phalanx, please. So that Pontic light cavalry is broken, and there's our victory. Alright, well that was a Pontic fail, and I'm glad for it. Sardis does have buildings queued up, so it will continue to build. We do need to come in here, though, and retrain our troops. Sardis seems quite capable of defending against Pontus. Plus, we picked up another commander there because our family is having kids and growing, which is certainly useful. I could use one of those commanders over at Tarsus. And I may attempt to make that move soon enough, but it's risky because these Pontic armies are moving around in the background trying to get to me. I'm besieged both at Seleucia and there, and obviously we don't want to let that go until there's a surrender. And see, like right there, it's 4 turns to surrender, 4 turns to surrender. I'm going to keep an eye on that. If I have to sally out, I will. But for the moment, I'm feeling confident, capable. I'm going to do a quick hit on these rebels here and push them back. Hopefully I have enough movement points to get back home. I think we will. Just an Eastern infantry, but I think the auto-resolve will treat me rather poorly if I auto-resolve it, so I'm going to have to fight this one. Alright, our battle is underway. I'm going to just flat out do a phalanx charge. And for those of you less familiar with Rome 1, phalanx charges were pretty common. It's where you take your units out of phalanx, you would come charging forward and drop them into a phalanx at the last second. There's definitely tricks and ways of doing it best, and then there are ways to fail while doing it. Hopefully I will manage to find the way to do it best. Got my commander out here. I'm going to, again, mostly try and hold that. I don't really want to engage my commander units unless I really need to, because of the... It's such a weird like swing with the commanders unit in this game. Sometimes you can engage them, you won't have any problems, and you will find all kinds of success. But then, occasionally, you will have your commander go into battle and just be instantly killed. And so it really is a horrible mix sometimes. Right, there we go. So it's going to be a crushing victory. I don't really know how these guys didn't immediately break. There we go. Alright, so we were able to defeat the rebels there that were causing us a little bit of financial issue. The leftover Egyptian army is still out there too, but they can't really do much at the moment, so we're going to ignore them. Our commanders will gain skill, though, as they fight. They'll gain influence and command ability, potentially management, stuff like that as well. So this is nice for us to have these units getting this experience. I'm going to wait a turn and see if we're attacked with those other commanders, but let's head in here. Damascus can begin a building project, and should. Let's work on paved roads, because then we can move troops faster and farther there. Paved roads also increase trade, and can be pretty handy in a number of different scenarios. Have we gotten relations with the Greeks? I thought we did.
I will address them at once.
I guess I'm gonna try and come over here and talk with these folks. It'd be cool if we could get a ceasefire with these guys, even just temporarily. That was our new commander there at Sardis. And again, I would love to have him go position in Tarsus, but it's gonna be dangerous to walk that far without taking a whole army with him. And taking a whole army with him would then cost me more money than I have available and potentially cause other issues. So anyway, let's see what happens when we hit a turn, and let's see if we get attacked. Holy crap! That is a full stack Egyptian army come to get us there. Hopefully it's just a bunch of trash troops. If they end up with some Pharaoh's bowmen or something, we could end up in some serious dookie. Tarsus under siege now. That's Cilicia. Okay, go ahead. Let's go, brochacho.
We are under siege!
Really? These guys are not going to attack me. They're going to try and siege me out over here, which is honestly kind of irritating. Well, this army isn't going to be able to successfully siege me out or stop me if I sally out against them. So let's sally out against them. I forget you got to actually select the army and then attack. So it says that we're not going to do well, but that's baloney. We'll win. All right. Whenever you were in like elementary school or middle school, did you ever like try and fit a whole bunch of people through the door of the classroom just to be annoying and stupid, of course? To irritate the teacher. I'm not saying I ever did something like that, you know, just hypothetical situation. But that's kind of what it feels like whenever you're trying to go through the gates to sally out in this game. But it is kind of cool. And I do like the new graphics improvements and stuff they did in this game. It's really quite nice. Let's get them into standard formation as well. Okay, I'm gonna sally out all my units. My cavalry I'd meant to bring out through this gate over here. I probably should have gone ahead and given that movement order, and I'll go ahead and do so now. But we're gonna get our phalanx out of the gates. They got slingers and some eastern infantry, and a hillman unit. Yeah, very weak infantry. Nothing that should. I mean, I'm not even sure how well their guys would do in melee if I didn't have my pikes down. But with the pikes down, they have no chance whatsoever. I'm gonna go ahead and move forward. I don't want to be like in a super blocky formation, but I want to have enough depth to my phalanx that it can kind of maintain its teeth here. We're gonna have to watch the stamina level of our troops. We don't want to get them tired. They're moving through the heat. Some of our troops will have heat resistance innately, but not these ones, because I believe that is a special feature of certain troops that Seleucids have access to. Okay, the AI is kind of reacting a little bit to my deployment. It's actually not moved forward. I think I had a unit that was warmed up. Nope, they're all fresh now. Let's just start walking forward at this point. It is uphill, so I don't want to run. So I'm going to just start walking forward. We'll do kind of a slow advance here.
General cavalry. Units, run, General.
I'm going to draw a path in the other direction for my general. I'll take my militia cavalry down one wing and my general down another wing. Now their slingers might open fire at my militia cavalry, which is okay if that happens. I'm gonna keep pushing in behind the enemy. I'm now gonna go ahead and phalanx charge. And I need to be ready to put pikes down here. Pikes down. There we go. Still got it. I mean, not that I ever had it. Alright, let's swing around. The enemy troops back here are going to be nicely distracted by my militia cavalry. We've already got a rout started, and we're going to start squeezing the vice here. And we should see a giant purple flow of troops heading out to the back of the battlefield. Alright, let's straighten up and charge. The Eastern Spear Commander is going to want to try and just go after my general. Ooh, my general's under fire from the slingers. But I've got my militia cavalry headed into the slingers, so that's not going to last for long. And let's just keep moving up our troops here. And now the massacre is truly underway. Unlike the newer Total War games, your troops can actually run down the enemy pretty effectively on this game. And you'll see that here as we're absolutely crushing retreating Parthians. There'll be a trail of them. And I intend to hurt them rather badly. I do want to take the militia cavalry and turn off fire wheels so we don't cause any friendly fire. There we go. Now it is an utter massacre. Now, there was occasionally some weird pathfinding when you're running down troops on this game, but again, it wasn't anywhere near as bad as like on Warhammer, where you'll go to run down fleeing enemy troops and your guys just bump them all the way off the map. It's incredibly annoying, and something that I wish CA would fix, because this is how it should be when people are fleeing. It should be an absolute massacre, because that's what it would be. People are fleeing for their lives. Don't exactly expect it to just be bumping them along. So there we go. I am going to try and really nuke the Parthian army here in order to ensure that they learn a lesson. So they're a heroic victory indeed. And our militia cavalry are going to have picked up a tremendous number of kills on those routing units. So Seleucia is now Parthian free, and we can continue to recruit units and retrain units, which is now underway. Are we busy building? We do have a building in the building browser. We also have an upgrade that needs to be made, and we should make that upgrade. Otherwise it could lead to some public order issues. And then since the Armenians didn't assault me either, I guess we're going to assault them. Oh my gosh, they are rather poorly prepared for this situation, as they only have Eastern infantry and Eastern mercenaries. Which, speaking of, someone reminded me that I have access to mercenaries. I do remember this, but I also remember that it's going to hurt my cash flow rather badly, and it's a little bit stifled at the moment. But let's go ahead and get started here. Alright, I have saved you all the trouble of me sallying out of the gates, so I've completed that. I'm going to send my cavalry on kind of a wide outflanking maneuver while I begin my phalanx charge. So here we go, and that's going to cause the AI to reform because they don't like being outflanked, and that will all work to our advantage, I hope. Should work to our advantage. When we hear the eastern horns a-sounding for a charge, we will drop our pikes. Our guys are a little bit in a wonky formation here. I'm going to actually go ahead and form phalanx, because there we go. That should be enough to get things moving. I'm gonna just avoid these spear units back here. Their units up front should lose rather horribly. Eastern mercenaries and Eastern spears are gonna do bad at just about every level of an engagement, phalanx or not. So they're just going to be poor. Now, there is an Eastern general here, and that's very concerning. It's a heavy cavalry that throws javelins. Not something that I want to tangle with at all. I'm going to move this way uphill to try and cut off those fleeing troops. I very much want a piece of those fleeing troops. Ah, sweet! We convinced the Eastern general to charge straight into our awaiting phalanx, which caused immediate damage. Now, general units, actual general units, tend to have double hit points, so they can be surprisingly powerful, and you need to give them the appropriate respect. Didn't quite get my spears down in time for that engagement. Had a few routing units. And that is not what I clicked. I don't know what my horseman is doing over here. They're not following my orders. And my general just stood here and took charge? No. Okay, fortunately not my general.
Units, run! Units,
That was...
some will die.
Yeah, it was my general. Yikes. That could have been disastrous.
Some will die.
A little bit slow. Oh, wow. The Eastern General regrouped back here, and my militia cavalry ends up getting crushed by an Eastern Spear. That's embarrassing. Getting anything crushed by an Eastern Spear is kind of a shameful display, if I have to admit it myself. But this little bit of success found by the Armenians is not going to last. You can see that they're actually literally just fleeing off of the battlefield at this point. Like running for their lives. I love it. Oh boy. You should keep moving, I think. I don't think you want to stick around on this battle map. Alright, there we go. I think that, yeah, the Armenians have been convinced to flee, and that is going to be the end of that. They might want to reconsider the types of armies that they're sending after me, because they are going to find very little success with what they are attempting there. We can build a governor's palace there now as well. And Tarsus is the only settlement that I cannot build in at the moment. It's because we have a Pontic siege here, and if there has been any lesson up to this point, it's... the enemy has not come well prepared for battle. They have a hillman. We do have a Pontic heavy cavalry. I mean, the worst thing those jab cav do is they throw... well, they have peltas too. It's a little bit of an annoying situation. We could probably beat them. I'm gonna withdraw from that for now. I really want to get one of these other commanders over into combat. So the buildings are being built. The Egyptians sieged us over here with this rather large force. They do have archers in it. Looks like maybe they combined some armies into this one. Be my best guess. We've almost got an army enough here to do something with. Diplomats. I don't believe we can make merchants. We can retrain these units here. And then let's get... I have some levy pikes, but I want to be able to have some militia hoplites as well. If I can just get a few more units, I feel like we can get on the offensive with an army from Antioch and leave a small army to defend Antioch. And we can probably make this thing work. Meaning I can start capturing territory while holding everything I have. We're going to be a little bit stretched money-wise, but we should be fine. Should be fine. I wonder if any of these factions would be open to a little bit of a peace treaty here. And did my... someone siege... yeah, treachery. They bribed my diplomat. Like, I can't get anything going my way. My diplomat gets bribed into joining the Egyptians. Oh, that's good stuff. Oh, man. Rome total war. How we missed thee. Alright, let's go ahead and end this. There's really nothing else to... what's our idle resource? Like an inactive fleet? Okay, well, big deal. Our fleet's inactive. Bring it home. Alright, there we go. End our turn. I do like the reminder for the inactive resources. It is quite handy, for being honest. This is so annoying with these guys. I don't want to sit here. Like, I'll give them one more turn to attack me, and if they don't, I'm going to push them out. Let's see, Antioch can put in another building, which we absolutely need to. Phalanx pikes. Yeah, archers. Getting archers would be really cool at this point. But then again, we also need some money. Some farms and trader would help a lot too, because we are going to need money to continue to support these high troop counts. It's going to be an ongoing effort here. I could go ahead and pull this army from Antioch and begin marching. But it's going to leave Antioch upset, probably without the presence of a leader. Like, watch if I pull it out right here. Yeah, Antioch is, I mean, downright ready for rebellion at this point.
My lord. Orders.
What about if I leave a couple of militia hoplites there? Would that be enough to tame? Yeah, okay. That'll be enough to tame their rebellious spirit. And I want to then take this army and let's go go put the push onto the enemy and get them on their back foot. And see if we can get a little bit of success here. Alright, let's end our turn. I have way more units out at some of these places than I probably actually need. Alright, my game actually crashed there, which is pretty irritating. I'm going to take this older commander, and I'm actually going to start marching back towards Antioch. Feel like we could... something good going there. I wonder where the nearest settlement is for... this guy. Can I train a diplomat over here? Let's go into training, and I can get a diplomat here. Let's do that. I'm going to grab the diplomat, and I want to go search for other Pontic settlements and kind of see where they're coming from, because I might have an opportunity to take one of these armies and push back against Pontus a little here too. Still think I can probably win this engagement. I don't have a commander unit, but neither do they. So I feel fairly confident we can win this. Let's push them off of us here. Alright, I again spared you the time of me selling out of the gates. I'm going to run my peasants up their flank. I don't know that the peasants are capable of accomplishing anything, but I'm going to go ahead and do a phalanx charge straight up this hill. And I'm going to try and just phalanx these guys right in the face, given the opportunity. I am sitting on the phalanx formation button, and I'm going to push it right now. Alright, there we go. Ah, my guys turned around to reform. You idiots. That sucks. Oh well, they got repositioned, and the rest of that went pretty darn well. I'm going to come out of phalanx here, charge that eastern infantry in the back, fix it from the front with peasants. Alright, our push against their first line was successful. I'm going to push again. Need to be ready on the old phalanx button here. I don't know whether their Pontic heavy cav will charge or not. There we go. We got a charge from those regrouped Peltus. Alright, we crushed this unit out here. It's going to allow me to put more pressure. We're going to essentially try and push these guys all the way off the battlefield. We got charged in the rear here. That's not great. I'm going to kind of just keep pushing over. Here comes a Pontic heavy cavalry. I actually thought it was going to charge me. It decided not to. Okay, we crushed the rest of the enemy troops here, and we can chase them all the way off the battlefield. That Pontic heavy cavalry is going to skirmish, because it is a skirmish cavalry. I don't expect it to turn around and throw itself into the jaws of a phalanx. One of their groups came back from routing, but again, we're just going to push them all the way off the battlefield. So there we go. That's going to be a sound defeat of the Pontic forces. Alright, that now has pretty much all of my settlements out from being sieged. We are going to see whether the Egyptians will attack us there. Let's again maybe check. I might take these... I think I'm going to take these militia cavalry.
Yes, strategos.
Let's actually merge these two units. There we go. I'm going to merge those two and then stick one of them in that army. And that'll save me the upkeep on one militia cavalry unit. This army's probably overly large for what it needs to be to protect our settlement, but again, I feel like we're okay at the moment. Should be okay. Let me check one last thing here before I turn in. I like having buildings being built all the time in settlements where they can be built, otherwise you're wasting time and potentially causing yourself a lot of harm. We finished the port. Let's do the trader again. Those things are going to help us with money. We do need another diplomat to like help us with trade, and that is being trained. We'll want to go get as many trade agreements as we can. Definitely want as many trade agreements as we can. What can we train a merchant? Oh, we can get elephants. And Greek cavalry. Greek cavalry would be really spectacular. Be a little bit harder to replenish, but would be really good. Elephants obviously would be absolutely devastating in our armies, but very expensive to upkeep. we will deal with that as the situation dictates. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of retrain work here. There we go. For troops that can retrain are retrained there. We're building the governor's palace. Okay, I think we're looking good now. Except for Tarsus. Tarsus needs a building project. Let's go with paved roads again so that we can move around more rapidly from one settlement to the next. And again, that will increase our trade as well. It also changes the map. You can see the paved roads on the map. It's kind of fun. Alright, so we are going to be attacked by Egypt here. They even have chariots. Wow, look at that. Egyptian chariot archers. I will save this one for the next episode because I'm out of time for now. Hope you all enjoyed this one, and we should actually get to strike out and take our first settlement in the next episode, as well as defeating a large Egyptian army here. So this should be a start of a good successful move for us. I'll see you then.